Tell me a little bit more about your business. So how long have you had it for? And
I purchased the business in 2006 with a loan. It took me 4 years to pay off the loan, and that was for a client list and equipment. It was a real small business at the time. I think we had about revenue then, and we're closer to now. And
so you got a, like, is this a loan from like a bank or?
It was.
Wow.
Yeah. And so
that's kind of cool.
I've been building the business from the ground up pretty much. You know, I had that little bit of starting infrastructure going on, but I've been creating all my processes, my hiring packets, I'm trying to come up with my company purpose, because I really just got into it to make money. And now I have, you know, just to get my way through college, and now I have a company, and I'm starting to try to build a company. And that's very different than just cutting people's lawns and having a helper here or there. You know, I have multiple.
So is it just you, or you do have multiple?
No,
How many people do you have?
Yeah, I've got 3 trucks, 2 trailers. I got a bunch of zero turns and stuff. We do big commercial properties. We work for the city. We work for the county. I've got homeowners association that we're doing, restaurants, residential.
So how'd you get in with the group at Starter Space?
Do you know Chino?
Sounds familiar. I've met a lot of those guys out there.
I got in through a dinner party.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you using any of their space or their office space, or are you just kind of in that network?
Office space. I've been in there to use their space once. I might go today because I kind of use it as a satellite office. It's convenient that it's in town, but I've got my own desk with big monitor, and you know, I'm pretty set up. So I got in more for the people than for the space.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, trying to.
So what are your goals, man? Now you want to start building the company?
I would like to build a company that is so strong that it doesn't require my presence, where I'm not the leading power behind the company. A company that has its own momentum, you know. And I'm trying to, we're just improving the community with everything that we do, and we're giving people their time back and letting them focus on their families and get away from repetitive, hard physical labor to spend time doing what they want to do. You know, we're creating an environment for people to live in, maintaining an environment for people to live in. You know, clean and ordered outdoor spaces are something that I really enjoy in my life. You know, you want to be able to go kick the ball with your kid and not spend all weekend mowing.
Do you have kids?
No.
Okay.
My girlfriend has 2, and so I can say I physically sort of have kids. Yeah, and I live with her, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah. I'm on the edge of that responsibility. How about you?
Yeah, I got 2 kids at home.
You got 2 kids? How old are they?
3 and 7. Almost 4 and 8.
They're 5 and 7, so.
Yeah, that's a fun age too.
It is.
They boys, girls?
2 boys.
Yeah,
I've
same
been
here.
Doing a lot of frisbee and Pokemon and
Pokemon. Fighting over the iPad. That's what my kids do. They fight over the iPad.
Trying to keep them away from the iPad as much as possible, but
yeah,
Jenga. Chase, the 7-year-old, has been playing chess a lot, so I've been playing a lot of chess with him too.
Cool. Awesome. Can you do water or anything? I feel bad. I just grabbed this and started drinking.
Coffee and water.
Okay.
And smoothie. And this stuff.
So why is the focus on having a business that runs itself? Like, you don't want to be the lead push behind it, or you want to?
So.
Is it just so you have more time?
When I see my personal development over the course of my life, I see myself going more from the what I'm going to do to how I'm going to do it really well to why I'm doing what I'm doing. And as I develop more, I want to have more time for the opportunities that come to me and the ideas that come to me. And I constantly see more opportunities and more ideas coming. And so if you're too busy just reacting to the things that business throws at you, then it's hard to, you end up letting a lot of that stuff slip by.
So you want this lawn care business to be the cash cow for other opportunities, other ideas?
I don't mind being directly involved, but I just like the idea of having a company that's strong enough that it can run itself. There's just more possible in your life when your company, like, I would like a company that could provide for my family if something happened to me, a company that strong, I ran into Rick Perry the other day, and I was asking him about his business, and I asked him that question. I said, what would happen to your companies? I see that he's focusing on politics more now. What would happen to his companies if he wasn't there? And how long could they run? And he said, a long time. That's a strong company to me, So, right now I'm the glue that holds my company together, and that requires a lot of my time and energy. Yeah.
Okay, so how can I help?
Well, it seems like you've got a really tight ship here, the way that you run your organization. Payal asked me if I needed help with anything, and I sent her an email that said that my business processes, my behind-the-scenes stuff, when it comes to, hiring, when it comes to just systems that run behind the scenes, like, everything that your secretary does, everything that you do when it comes to accounting, everything that you do when it comes to, dealing with licenses and planning and structuring the business, all that sort of stuff is what I'm playing with and spending a ton of time on. And it seems like somebody that is further in that process, it's more evolved, would have some insights.
Okay, so I tell you that the first thing to start would be mission, vision, and values.
Yep.
Like, why do you show up to work every day? Why do your people show up to work every day? And like, what are the values that hold it all together? Like, I'm constantly preaching about our core values. Every decision I make is based around those core values. We have 12 core values. Throw a couple out there. Our number one is to create and recreate the ultimate customer experience. Mm-hmm. So we try to take customer service above and beyond anywhere else in the country. I don't care what business it is. Because with having that focus, if I can deliver that kind of experience, then I know long term that's going to keep people coming back. It's going to keep people talking about us. And that's where it's very different for me, is that all the moves that I'm making now will benefit us 40 years from now. They're not going to benefit us this year. You know what I mean? So it's very long-term thinking. I'm constantly putting every dollar back into the business.
Me too.
Yeah, and then I use those core values to build it. I mean, the culture is built on those values.
Right.
Because when core value number 5 is to keep a promise, and I hear a team member say on the phone to a customer, let me find out, I'm gonna call you back in 10 minutes, and I overhear that, then it's like, you're gonna call that guy back in 10 minutes. Set a timer. Because you just made a promise, and that's one of our core values, and we don't let that kind of thing slip. So, like, mission, like knowing, like, why are we coming to work every day? Like, we help college students get to and from class at their convenience without having to wait for the bus or deal with campus parking. Like, that's why we're here, right? And then vision, like, what do we want this to look like 20, 30, 40 years from now? I want this place to be the scooter capital of the world. Right. I want, when somebody is in Kentucky, Michigan, California, I want them, when they hear the word scooter, to think of Gainesville, Florida, to think of New Scooters for Less, to think of the University of Florida. That's what I want.
So you're projecting, you're expecting to project your values and your purpose to a really broad audience, to a huge audience.
Yeah, I mean,
to everybody.
The audience that it's really important for the team to be all in on that mission and that vision and values. So that's what I focus on. Everything else is bonus. If our values influence your values as a company and set you off in the right direction, like, then that's bonus. Like the fact that we could have impact on other companies, other organizations, other business individuals, whatever. Like that's just bonus. What I care about, these people not only knowing those values, but living those values every single day, whether they're here or not. I want those to be their values in their day-to-day lives outside of work.
Are you the filter to create that family? I mean, does it all go through you?
That's the best part about being the business owner, is that you get to choose who you want to work with every single day.
Right.
You get to build the team.
It is the best thing.
Like if I don't like somebody, or they're not a cultural fit, or they're not part of this family, then they're no longer on the team.
Right.
Luckily, I've set some good processes in place that allow me to filter those individuals, have people interview. Our application, if you will, is online. We use SurveyMonkey. We send it out, and it asks it does ask employment questions, but there's a lot of very interesting questions on there too. Things such as, tell us who you are, tell us who you were, who you are, and who you're going to be in a tweet. 140 characters. Forces them to really think and be super brief. Our application requires them to send a Snapchat or an Instagram video to us. Halfway through the application, it says, okay, now you have to go find Colin on these platforms and send him a 10-second snap saying why you should work here. It forces people outside of their comfort zone, but that allows me to see whether or not they actually have what it takes to be a team member here.
How much time do they have to get back to you on that? Is there a timer on the application?
No.
That's something, no.
No, so it's just a SurveyMonkey. It's like 20 questions.
Right.
And it asks, I'm trying to think of other things that it asks. Would you rather go to a party or throw a party, and why? There's no right or wrong answer. It just allows me to see their thought process, to see why they would rather throw a party, or why, maybe they're extremely extroverted, or they like to be in control. They like to invite the people that they want at the party. They like to surround them. There's no right or wrong answer. Some of the answers are like, I like to go to parties because, quite frankly, I hate cleaning up after people. Right. So there's no right or wrong answer. It's just seeing their thought process and seeing them explain and seeing that people take the time. Now, if I can very often pull out cultural elements in that, see if people are keeping promises, seeing if people have a strive for perfection. One of our core values is to seek awesomeness. It's SIQ, service, integrity, and quality. I can pull out these elements just in these questions, just by the vibe I get. And if they do really well on the questionnaire, then they'll come in, they'll sit down with my assistant or with our general manager, they'll go through a tier 1 interview. Then, if they do really well there, then they'll finally get a sit down with me. But as a business owner, I don't have time to meet with every single applicant that applies here.
Right.
So they filter it, they tell me, like the no's, obviously I don't have to interview them, so it saves me time, but the yeses, it's like, all right, like this is something I should seriously consider. And they know the value system, so they know what I'm looking for.
So I'm earlier on that process. What was it like for you in the beginning creating that team?
So you're always going to find people you're going to want to find people that have the same values as you. So you might not have a list of 12 core values on the wall,
yep,
but your values.
Do most of the people with your core values and your kind of purpose in life, are many of them seeking jobs for $12 or $15 an hour?
Are many of them seeking jobs?
Yeah, so you're creating a culture of people that are like-minded. People that are like-minded might be doing their own thing, not looking to join another team as a lower tier team member. You know what I mean? Do you feel like that limit? Or are you just are they just younger and so they haven't gotten to where you are yet?
We have the realm. Like, I have 18-year-olds working here and I have a 66-year-old working here. Like, we're a very diverse group. The thing is, everybody's motivations are different. It's your responsibility to know what motivates each individual. Is it money? Yeah, for a lot of people it can be money. Now, on a grand, like you look at the world as a collective group, money is not at the top of the list. There's usually things like flexibility. Maybe it's benefits. They just want to make sure they have a good lifestyle, stability, safety. They want to make sure that the environment that they're in is a safe environment, that they know is stable, that they're not going to get laid off next week. Maybe it's the opportunity for growth. They really want to build themselves within the organization. So you have to be able to lay that out and say like these are the positions available here. You can go from being a technician to being a manager. Our general manager, Mike, he started off as the driver here. The driver, you know what I mean? And now he's the general manager. Like that can happen. So people just have to see that if that's what they want. They might not want that. They might just want a stable job that pays them well, where they can come and work 10 to 6, go home, because their motivation is their family. Their motivation is spending the time with the 2 boys after work. You know what I mean? So it's your responsibility to know what that is for each person. It's not easy. And I can tell you, like, I even struggle with it. We were actually talking about the same topic last night, because the truth is that motivation can change. You can be motivated by money, right? You could be a young 22-year-old, like, oh, money. Then you married, and then you have a kid, or you get into a relationship where there's kids, and then it's like, man, like, I really love these kids. I want to spend more time with them, right? Like, your whole mindset changes. Money's not the most important thing. Time is the most important thing.
It's so funny that you say that, because that's exactly where I'm at right now. You know, I was 24 when I purchased the company, and it really was just about getting by, making money. I had been an hourly worker before that, and I'm making that shift now to where I'm finding the why, and so I'm kind of building a business and finding that purpose from the inside out as my priorities have shifted, you know, as a more mature adult.
Right.
And so it sounds like you already have a lot of that figured out. You have a really good system for finding people that agree with you, because you know when you're hiring, that's a pretty serious agreement. You're kind of married to each other to a certain extent, and so
only if you make it that way.
Hiring process ensures that you're allowing the right people into your family.
We tell everybody when they come onto this team, like, you're in a 90-day probation period no matter what.
Right.
Like, within 90 days, we're going to decide whether you're a fit or you're not a fit. If you're not a fit, it's like, no offense to you, it's just our values aren't the same. It's not an exact match. You know, good luck.
Is that a casual conversation, or is that something that they sign on to?
No, it's in our company policy.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
We say, hey, if I was gonna offer you a job, I'd say, hey, we want to bring you onto our team. You did, your resume looks awesome. To be honest with you, I really don't look at resumes very, very close. But
have people for that now.
Yeah, but it's very much like, your application's awesome. You interviewed well. We think you'd be a great cultural fit, but we have a 90-day probation period. We're going to throw you in the mix. We're going to see if you're a good fit, because it's not. I don't look at it as just my company anymore. This is our company.
Right.
Like, if one of these guys doesn't like you, there's a good chance that you're not going to be here after 90 days. So you need to come in.
That company belongs to the person that you're supposed to call back in 10 minutes too, because that's who you're reaching in the community, all your customers, right? They say a brand is not what you say you are, it's what your customers say you are. And so you can start the ball rolling in that direction, but you have to be effective enough that people believe you, and then you get back what you're putting out there.
Yeah.
The
entire game is a relationship game. That's you to your team members to the customers. I mean, all of it.
Right.
So, in terms of a solid foundation, that's by far the most important thing. Mission, vision, and values.
It's funny, I've been doing this for 12 years, and I feel like I'm building my foundation now that I've just reached a level in business where it became a necessity. I mean, frankly, I was too busy cutting grass before that. And I had so much grass to cut, I didn't have time to think about those sort of things. And I wasn't really building a company in the same way that I'm building a company now. Now, my focus is on building an organization, and so I'm looking at those those
Right.
structures that you have in place that have allowed you to create such a large family, it allows you to have confidence in the people that are hiring for you, you know? Did you write all that stuff yourself, or is there a resource that you...
Yeah, no, we definitely, a lot of it's available online. I mean, I've looked at corporate policies to see what they like. I mean, there's a reason they have them.
That's right.
But I'm very anti-corporate America. You know, I love entrepreneurship, and I love going against the grain, and I love people telling me that I can't do something, because then I go and do it, and that's my motivation. I really love proving people wrong. So you can absolutely get on there and Google policies and find things that are in tune with your organization. I'm sure there's other smart lawn care businesses that have laid out a lot of this stuff, and I'm sure you can find a lot of it online. Where we're different is really in the setup. Like we have a Trello board. So I don't know if you've heard of Trello,
No,
but it's like, it's actually used as a project management tool for businesses, where it has like step-by-step process, and I can show you what ours looks like. Because you can see these are all my communication tools, but Trello, I think it's very visual, so I think it really helps a lot. I hate handing a new team member a 20-page policy and say, read this and sign the last page and bring it back to me. It's just not interesting, you know what I mean? But you feel as an employer like it's necessary. You got to cover your ass. You got to make sure that they understand this stuff and you understand it. But the truth is, I'm like, man, are they really taking this home and reading it? And I don't know they sign off saying they do, but I don't really know the answer, right? So we created a team member manual on Trello, and it walks you through the steps. So it says on your first day, and it says introductory period, right? That's the first thing I just told you about. So you open it up, and it tells you what the introductory period is all about.
Oh, this is fantastic. This is exactly the kind of thing I need, because I'm trying to build this stuff from scratch without a big history in business. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
This has important abbreviations, and that's all it is. FOH, front of house, BOH, back of house, SRO, service repair order. Those are the abbreviations that we use the most. Timekeeping procedures. Team member must record their actual time. I mean, it's just like written out. How do you clock in? How do you request time off? Your paperwork. Okay, these are the things that we need from you in order to get you on payroll. Your W-4, your I-9, and then they're all right there. They can click them and they can download them right there.
Right.
So we give it.
I spend way too much time repeating myself for this kind of stuff, and a system like this is what I need so that I can focus on growth.
The next column, mission, vision, and values. Tells you what my personal mission is. To create life-altering experiences that build up people and develop the next generation of leaders. That's why I show up to work every day. Company mission, vision, our values, it has every single value laid right there. You know what's great about values? Team member comes up to me and says, hey, I've been here for 6 months. I really think I deserve a raise now. What can I do to make that happen? I look at them in the eye and say, what's core value number 5? If they don't know it, then they haven't done their part.
Right.
Ain't no way I'm giving you a raise. You don't know the core values because you're not living them if you don't know them.
Right.
It's the easiest conversation to have. But then when they go through the process and they really are like, oh, I'm going to get paid based off knowing these values and living these values, because that's what's important to Colin. And guess what? They learn them.
And
they
knowing
live
it
them.
will automatically affect the behavior. Right. Because they're right.
They can recite, they can think through. I mean, the point is, if a customer calls and is super upset, it's empowerment. They can go, if I tell my team, if you go through these core values and you make a decision based on these core values, you will never lose your job. That's empowerment. Like, why did you give that person $100 off their service ticket? Like, are you kidding me? Like, I could say that, and they can say, well, because this is the situation, this is what happened, so and so made a promise here, but you know, they can explain. They say, because I did it because it upholds our core values, and I can be, good job.
Right.
That's it. It's end of conversation. You know what I mean? So it's empowerment. It allows them to make decisions without me. That's what you want. You want to go on vacation for a week and not be checking 800 text messages.
That's exactly it.
Then that's how you do it. And then again, and then I have a section that's just like my tips for your success. Like, know your role. You determine your success. Learn the core values. Learn more on your time. Like, you want to be more valuable to the company. Well, you have a day off in the middle of the week. Come in and shadow somebody else's position. That makes you more valuable. That gets you more money in your pocket. So, and it just explains everything. Job descriptions. If you're a tech, but you want to know what it takes to be a service writer, you can click the service writer card, and it says the mission of that position. Each position has a mission, right? That person's responsibilities, secondary responsibilities, who they're responsible for building up on the team. So there's people underneath them that they need to mentor and develop. And then KPIs, this is how I'm grading you. Like, maybe for people who are going out and cutting grass, maybe it's based on, maybe you get a raise based on surveys that are being sent to every single customer that we cut their grass, and the customer's grading your performance. I'm gonna send a survey that says, on a scale, 3-question survey, on a scale of 1 to 10, what did you think of your lawn when it was cut today? It was an 8, okay? Would you refer us to somebody else? Yes, whatever it is, you use that to grade the team. And over a specific amount of time, if they're consistent, it's great. Then yes, you guys have been doing, that team's been doing what they need to do in order to deserve more.
You're creating an accountability loop that's directly tied to your core values and the hierarchy within your structure, rather than just sending people out into the world and hoping for the best.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the problem, again, it's vision, it's purpose a lot of the times. Like, you have to change it from, I go to New Scooters for Less and I fix scooters every day. You have to eliminate that and make them realize that you come to New Scooters for Less to ensure the safety of somebody's son or daughter. Like, that's a big difference. You go to work to cut grass.
And they'll make
that's what they
decisions.
think, right? Tell me, like they come to work and they go, like, I come to work and I cut grass. That's what I do.
Right.
But if you can paint a different picture, saying like you're changing the landscape of Gainesville or like whatever it is, you have to paint. You have to give them more purpose. Like, why are they coming?
Absolutely.
It's not just to cut grass.
Right.
It's to make this particular neighborhood or area beautiful or whatever it is.
Right.
So, and what happens is when you start to do that and you start to make values based on, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a good example. What you should want as a business owner is that when that crew goes out and they cut that house on the cul-de-sac, that when they're done, they visit the 2 neighbors next door and they say, hey, you see this yard right here? We cut it. I don't know if you do your own grass or whatever, but if you get these 3 or 4 houses right here, we can come out here and talk to your neighbor. Because we're best friends with our neighbors. Like, if a crew came out and cut 6 houses on the cul-de-sac all at one time, made our entire cul-de-sac beautiful, right? Saves money, right? Save the customer money, like whatever it is a cut, I don't know, 50, 60 bucks, whatever it is, right? But now it's 40 bucks a cut or a month or whatever. Like, I don't know the pricing on that kind of stuff. But you see what I'm saying? Because now you're growing your business, but now your crew's doing it for you. You're not the one constantly door to door making that kind of thing happen. Because the crew feels like they have purpose and they're invested.
And if they have some ownership in it, then they look around and notice the same things that I would notice.
So and that's where you can make this, I mean, whether the surveys get them raises, I know where some people do it where you kind of make the crews compete against each other. The best surveys, you have a little chart, right? Whichever team performed the best gets an extra X dollars this week. And then the middle, second best gets that, the least, and then you put them against each other and they're competing. It makes it a game. It makes it fun. Like, I don't know. I love the game of business, and there's so many different things like that you can do to really make the team feel like they have more purpose. But at the same time, they're being rewarded for their hard work. Every time we service a scooter, we send out a survey, every single one. They're not all good. The ones that are bad, like, we sit down with the team members and we talk. We say, hey, this is what happened, or this is what this customer said. What went wrong? How can we learn from this? How can we improve for the next time to eliminate these kind of mistakes?
Do you have that follow-up automatically from an invoice, or?
No, it's our office manager. She goes through the service tickets at the end of the day, and she puts them into MailChimp, and it generates the survey.
Gotcha.
At the end of the day. So at the end of the day, she just
sends. Like pre-formulated, and all she has to do is add addresses to a list, and then it populates everything else and sends it out.
But that stuff it's easy enough to do. I mean, the survey, I don't know what we pay for SurveyMonkey. Probably $50 a month, if I had to guess. I think we pay a year fee though. We just pay it every year. But it's worth it because we use it for our applications. We use it for surveys.
And then you have reviews to put on your website and stuff like that too. And you're getting real-time feedback all the time. Yeah.
Which is important if you want to grow and
it's
you want.
It's crucial.
Yeah.
It's crucial.
I mean, if people are going out and cutting grass but they don't know how well they're doing, or they don't know that there was a customer complaint,
or they're only hearing things when there's a customer complaint, rather than, or occasionally when the lady comes out with the iced tea and thanks them, and but it provides more opportunities for that to happen.
Yeah.
Which is going to help with ownership and pride in their work.
Yeah, and they see the good and the bad.
Right.
If you show them all of them.
So you have a lot of tools that you're using.
And they all go back to core values. The reason we have Trello, the reason we have Slack is because core value number 7 is to communicate clearly. It's communication. So, have you ever heard of Slack?
Nope.
And you have to figure out it might not be right for you, but if you look at this right here, so this is you can see I have a bunch of highlights, things I got to get back to, but you have your team. So this is our team, NSRL, and then this is general, this is interns, marketing. These are groups, so I can take the entire service department, and if I wanted to send a message to just my service department, I could include it here and it'll just send it to just them. So it's not sending it to my sales team or to anybody else that's not related to.
Yeah, I'm just now starting to get my filters set up to be able to do things like, there's so many little time-saving tricks.
The hardest part is getting the team.
Implement them though.
It takes a little bit longer because it's a minute to physically implement it, but it takes more time to get your team members bought in because they might not want to use it, or they might not see why it's necessary to have this change. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So if you
they don't feel like it's directly necessary to achieving their primary purpose.
They might not.
Especially
they might not get it. They might not understand why we're doing it. But one of our core values is to embrace and shape change. So when I execute a new change like this, the conversation is get on board or get out. I mean, It's as simple as that. Like, we're making a change. This is how we're going to communicate now. We're doing it. This is why we're doing it. And we need you to get on board. We need you to get bought in. And it's tougher with some time, and I give them some time, and you know what I mean? Like, but at the end of the day, like, our team is using it to communicate with each other, and it's working.
I put a willingness. I was writing my core mission yesterday, and a willingness to learn was one of the things that I wanted out of my crew workers. You know what I mean? It was really a multi-page document, but I was starting with me, and then I was moving through the positions and stuff. And willingness to learn is one of the things, and so you can always tie changes into that. You have to be willing to continue to go with us where we're going.
So that would be a good core value.
Right.
Be willing to learn. Values should be actions. They should be verbs.
Cool.
So, embrace and shape change. Keep promises. Like you're doing something. So keep that in mind when you're establishing those values. But it's the core ingredient. But you have to live them. Where the trick with core values, and this is where values fail on a corporate scale, is that you might have Joe over here who's just killing. He's bringing in the money. He's bringing in the dollars. The guy brings the organization $250,000 a year. He's a valuable asset because he's bringing in all this money, but he's a complete asshole to the team. Has no respect for anybody. He's not keeping his promises. Lives on his own terms. Like, that's my company.
It's undermining your culture.
Yeah. Like, that guy, no matter how much money he's bringing, is out.
Because you believe that the collateral damage from that the culture is more important. Right.
Culture is the lifeblood of the organization, 100%. There's nothing more important. Nothing. It's what will determine the success of any organization.
Right.
So that's why I spend so much time on it. That's why and we haven't done this in a while, but like I used to do like actual like culture meetings where we would come together and we'd talk about how do we make the customer's experience, recreate the ultimate customer experience. How do we make this experience even greater and even greater and even greater? Like you want to constantly push, and what's great is that those ideas are coming to the table all the time now. I don't necessarily have to like have a meeting to pull everybody and hear and listen to what they're saying, because they'll just tell me.
But you had to get enough mass to attract more ideas to it, and now it's just there.
Yeah.
It already exists. Right.
And when somebody...
I'm just starting that snowball right now, and I'm just trying to collect and get it rolling.
Do you read books?
Yeah.
You do? Have you read Start With Why?
Simon Sinek, I just listened to that audiobook the last 3 days. I just finished it yesterday.
Okay. That's the starting place.
Right.
Because he's absolutely right. Too many people are too focused on what they're doing or how they're doing it. Like the processes. Yeah, the processes are important, but that's how you're doing the work. Like, yeah, what you're selling is important. Like, we're selling scooters, but why?
Yep.
Like, why are we doing it? That's what's important. So, if there's anything I can help with along the way, man,
this is fantastic.
Let me know. I'm happy to sit down again or go out for drinks after work sometime or whatever.
Cool, man.
And
yeah, I know you're super busy. You've got a big organization.
Well, we're about to get really busy.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to squeeze in as many like little meetings as my whole day is full of them today, but just trying to because in August I'm unreachable. It's just
Do you have
unreal.
any other little tips for casting a broader net to find good help? Because obviously when you have such a strong culture, you have such a strong purpose, you're looking for very specific people, and so the broader of a net that you can cast, the more likely you are to land on people that are really a perfect fit for your company. I've got an ad on Indeed. I've tried Craigslist. Do you have any other? You seem to have a lot of tools that are automated that can reach a lot of people quickly and effectively. Do you have any other little suggestions for that?
The best is a newsletter. So because that MailChimp account is just, I think because of the size of ours, we're paying like $50 a month.
Yeah.
But if I wanted to, and here's a great example, I need temporary help. August 18th and 19th. They're 2 busy days. We're gonna have 250 people picking up around from storage. We're gonna have a bunch of people dropping off for service, and we're probably gonna sell 70, 80 scooters in those 2 days alone. Like, it's going to be insane. I need more help. I need people working here. So what I did was I sent out a newsletter to all of my customers, right? They're in my newsletter because they bought scooters here. They bought a scooter here. They go in my newsletter. I send them an email. I say, hey, customers, I'm looking for 2 people to come help on these 2 days. You'll get money, you'll get swag, you'll get the experience of a lifetime, working in a chaotic environment, you know, like, laid it out there. I said, you know, if you're interested, email me. I sent that to our newsletter. Dude, flood of responses. Like, flood. I got so many people that wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And anytime we're thinking about hiring somebody, like if we want to hire a new salesperson, the first place we start is our newsletter. We send out a newsletter saying, hey guys, like, New Scooters for Less is hiring. Are you a right fit? And we lay out what we're looking for in a sales assistant, right? The reason why I love hiring customers is because they've already been through the process. They've already bought their scooter from us. They've already experienced the UCE, the ultimate customer experience. They've already had their picture taken with the balloons, and they've already, you know, they've gone through all of these things. They've been inside our business. They understand the culture, you know. That gives them a huge advantage of me hiring somebody random off the street.
Mm-hmm. I'm obviously not going to get my customers directly, but I can get their kids, I can get their neighbor's kid, I can get their student.
Oh yeah.
I can get the kids that they coach or they're big brothering for or whatever.
Yeah, big time.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, I appreciate your time,
man.
It's been
absolutely.
It's
really
been
nice meeting you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's really nice meeting you. If there's anything I can do to help along the way, just drop me a note.
No, these kind of tools are very useful, and it's good. I enjoy talking to you, and I know I'm on the right track because I already agree with so much of what you're saying. You know, I'm just very early in implementing it. I'm kind of doing it backwards because I didn't start with such a strong purpose. I started to feed myself,
right?
You know, and now it's reached a point where I'm well fed and I'm looking over the next hill, so to say.
Excellent, man.
Yeah.
If it helps, drop me an email and set up a Trello account, and I can add you to our like you're an employee, and you can look at all that stuff.
Awesome.
And then you can make one, you know, similar, and you can kind of see the way I do things.
I'll do
Maybe
that
it'll
right
kind of
away.
give you a direction.
Cool. Thanks.
Awesome, man. Really nice meeting you. So, thanks for coming by and doing it before August.
Well, I'm glad I reached out at a good time.
Yeah, no. And good luck with everything, man. At least, it's been lots of rain, so grass should be growing pretty well.